What happens to us after we die? Do we cease to exist, or do we live on? This may be the biggest question that mankind has ever asked, as well as what this podcast is about. In this show, we will examine past life memories, speak with professional hypnotherapists, astral projection practitioners, psychics, and much more, all in an attempt to decipher this riddle. So welcome to the puzzle. Welcome to the regression session. Welcome back to the regression session. My name is Ian, and welcome to the regression session. To the new people, thanks for tuning in. This week we're going to be hearing from Naomi Rosenthal. Naomi is a manifestation expert as well as an expert on the law of attraction. This episode we're going to talk about your mindset, how that can help you to bring positive things into your life. And this can encompass anything from relationships to like a better job or money or like a house or a following, or whatever it is. We talk about all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. If you want to come onto the podcast to talk to me about your spiritual experience, your past life experience, or your knowledge on any metaphysical topic, shoot me an email. My email is theregressionsession@gmail.com. Especially if you've had a near-death experience, I would love to hear from you. And now my episode with Naomi. Hey Naomi, thanks for coming on to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Ian. I'm so happy to be here today.
I'm happy to have you. And like I was saying before, if you don't mind, just tell me a little bit of background about yourself, your beliefs that kind of led you to where you are manifesting shit in your life and creating amazing things.
Well, basically, I took up manifestation, started getting into spirituality in April 2020. So I haven't been in a spiritual awakening or tapped into my spirituality for too long. But basically, I was spending a lot of time like by myself, like in quarantine at home. And I started to focus on my mental health and like look into like the places where I was like lacking, like just mentally, and trying to like better myself. And I started taking better care of myself, doing things to help me feel better throughout my days, and like just trying to like be the one in control of my life. And that kind of brought me towards raising my vibration, which I talk about on my YouTube channel, and just talking about how like bettering your mental state and doing things that are good for you and for your body and for your mind just make you a higher vibrational person in general, because everything is made up of energy. And when I brought myself to this higher vibrational place, I just naturally fell upon spirituality, law of attraction, manifestation, started getting super into it, learning a ton about it. And like, I genuinely felt like my entire brain, like everything about me was completely transformed. I never viewed the world the same way again ever since. Like I've came to these realizations, and I kind of just realized that I have the power to do whatever I want. This is my life. There are no rules. Like I have the power to create energy because I am energy, and so are all of us. And the biggest thing also about manifestation that like I've come to realize is that you don't intentionally you can intentionally manifest, but you are always manifesting whether you're intentional about it or not. Like I always talk to people and hear people talking about how they don't believe in manifestation and they don't think it's real. And I'm like, okay, like even if you don't think it's real, like you are still going to be actively doing it, because the bottom line is your outside reality is created by your inner reality. So even if you aren't aware of that and trying to make your thoughts match what you want, you're still going to be attracting things, whether they're positive or negative. So I basically just started getting super into it, doing a lot of research, meditating a lot, like just trying to dive deeper into myself and like the world around me. And I was amazed by the things I realized and my findings. So I was like, I want to share this with the world, because in a way I felt like it was my purpose. Like I communicated with my spirit guides a lot through meditation, and I felt like I kept getting urges to like put myself out there more, talk about this stuff and share like these secrets to the world that I felt that I realized. And while posting on YouTube and kind of creating that like safe like space over there where I could talk about those things, I was simultaneously manifesting like a following and like a growth. And it worked because we attract what we decide, and I decided that. So yeah.
That's very interesting. So I'm all about it. Like, I'm all about the raising of your vibration. I'm all about like looking within yourself and stuff like that. Because like I was telling you before, I don't call myself a past life regression hypnotherapist anymore, because that's kind of like 20 steps ago for me. Like, I just call myself a spiritual hypnotist. And a lot of what I do is help people work through and actually get to the point where they can physically feel like their body vibrating. So I'm all about it. What I would like to know from you, and I hope you don't mind me asking you some hard questions occasionally if they come up. I don't know what they would be. But sometimes I like to play devil's advocate. So what I would like to know from you, first of all, is like an overview of, I know you kind of went into it a little bit already, but what is the law of attraction and how do you start activating it, or I guess attracting it?
So basically, the law of attraction is the understanding that we attract what we are, what we believe about the world, like our subconscious and conscious beliefs are being attracted into our lives. We are creating everything around us based on our expectations, which is also kind of like the law of assumption, which is similar, which basically states that we attract what we assume. So, and then law of attraction, manifestation are like very similar, but basically it's like you, as I was saying, can attract anything through the law of attraction, through manifestation, just by thinking it, by believing it, and by expecting it to happen. But once you realize that you are the one creating your life and everything that's coming to you, you can shift your beliefs about the world, about yourself, about what you deserve, about the things that you are going to do. And they will become true once you believe that they are true, because we are constantly in this like state of, we're all connected to spirit, as I say, or source, right? So the source energy we're all connected to, and we all came to Earth with the power to create whatever we wanted through energy, as we are energy, right? But it takes remembering that and coming back to it and being like, wait, I have this power. I've created everything around me. And a lot of the things around me might be things that I don't like, but that's because I believe that these negative things were going to happen, and then they did. But now that I know that, I can shift my beliefs to match the things that I want, and then I watch them attract into my life. It sounds insane. It doesn't sound real. Like, it genuinely doesn't sound real, but then you try it and you really do the work, because it is work, and then it happens and you're like, you cannot make this stuff up. You just simply cannot. So that is how I would define law of attraction, manifestation. What was the second part of your question?
How can you start to practice this in a positive way?
Okay, right. So yeah, I guess I did go into that a little bit, but basically the first thing that I would say to do is to raise your vibration, meditate, take good care of yourself, get enough sleep, just all of the basic things to like give you your best mental health possible, because when you are in a state of low vibration, you are going to be attracting things of that same vibration. You cannot manifest the things that you want if you don't feel the same way as the things that you want, if that makes sense. So let's say I want like a big group of friends, and in reality, I'm believe that everybody hates me and that I don't think I'm worthy of that, and I don't think people like to be around me, and I think I'm annoying, and I think I'm rude, whatever it may be, but I want to manifest a bunch of friends. But if I have all these beliefs about myself in my head, no matter how hard I try to manifest it, no matter how many techniques I'm doing, I'm not going to get it, because we're not vibrationally aligned. So the first step is to vibrationally align yourself with the things you want by raising your vibration and becoming very grateful for the things that you already have and feeling comfortable in who you are now, because if you don't accept yourself and your life for the way it is and find things to be grateful about, you're not going to be attracting more things to be grateful for. If you focus on the lack of your life, you're attracting more lack, and if you focus on the abundance, you're going to attract abundance.
Okay, so basically step one is to be grateful.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so step one,
Yeah.
be grateful. And I'm laying this out in a step-by-step process so that people can kind of follow it that are
Okay.
my audience. Like step one, be grateful. Step two, change your outlook, right?
Yeah, so in my experience, it's easier to change your outlook on life and yourself when you are already like feeling better mentally. So like bottom line, I would say even before gratitude is just to like, I guess it depends on what mental state you're starting from, but if you're starting from like a place of like lack and like low vibration and not feeling good about yourself and you just want to like completely shift your life, you do have to put all of your focus and attention towards yourself first and work on just becoming more comfortable in your own skin, because if you're not that, then you're not going to be able to get anywhere. You have to be able to love yourself before you can change the things around you. So I would say that taking care of yourself, doing the things that you need to do for yourself, focusing on yourself primarily is the first step. And then after that, I would say focus on gratitude. And then once you're at that point, you can take it to the next step and you can start to rewire your subconscious brain to fit the things that you want to attract, to fit the beliefs that you need in order to attract the things that you want. And there are a bunch of different ways to do that.
Thank you for going over that with me. One thing, a thought that popped into my mind as you were talking. Are you familiar with like Murphy's Law?
I'm not.
All right, so it's like an old adage, right? You probably have heard it, probably not referred to as Murphy's Law, but basically what Murphy's Law is it says anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And that's like a huge mindset thing, right? And that's like it's almost like an expectation in our society. And what I just wanted to get your thoughts on like that mindset, Murphy's Law. Like it's such a common thing because life is hard, man. It's not easy, right? And this whole thing that you're talking about, you said it sounds fake, and it does sound fake. Like if I wasn't where I am personally, I would be like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? But like, so, because a lot of people live and die by Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So how do you pull yourself out of that trench? Like what can you start to do? And I have an answer for this, but I want to hear your answer first.
Well, I guess I am a little bit confused on the law in general, because I understand thinking and worrying that things will go wrong, but technically like anything can go wrong. And I don't think anybody can say that like 100% of their experiences have gone wrong. So
that's true.
It's just interesting for me to hear. I've never heard anything like it before, and it just doesn't seem realistic to me. But if somebody really was in a place of believing that anything that could go wrong will go wrong, I would tell them to take a step back and to try and think of some examples of things in their life that have gone right. And this ties right into the gratitude. When you're focusing on things going wrong and you're under the impression that everything is going to go wrong, that is what is going to happen, because that is what you expect. And that is literally like right there, that is an affirmation manifesting things that you don't want. If you believe that things are going to go wrong, they are, and you will be absolutely right, but you don't have to choose that narrative for yourself.
And it's like a cynic's mindset, right? And there's another side to this too, Naomi. And I want to get your thoughts on this too. So I used to work for a company, and the president, like, I'll just cut out all the politics and stuff, but basically what ended up happening is like the president of the company hired this like life coach guy to come in and talk to people about their mindsets and stuff, kind of like what you're doing. But what ended up happening, and I've seen this time and time and time again, is basically what I've come to call toxic positivity. right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you may have heard this before, but it's like the thought that no matter what happens, you have to be positive. And if you're not positive, then you're doing something wrong. So there's Murphy's Law, which is like a cynic's mindset. And then there's this other side of it where it's like you have to be positive all the time or you're doing it wrong. So what's your thoughts on that side of it?
I have definitely like grappled with toxic positivity and been like kind of, I don't know, when I first discovered spirituality and started getting myself into it, I didn't really even take a minute before I started talking about it. Like I was learning about it as I was posting about it. Like it was like a journey, like my YouTube channel beside me, and I was figuring things out and talking about it as I went. And I didn't realize at the time that spirituality is not all like sunshine and rainbows, not always positive. Like sometimes it can get very dark, and sometimes you're not going to feel happy, and sometimes you will feel very, very, very bad and very, very, very low. And that's really difficult to deal with when you're under the impression that you are going to be manifesting low things if you're feeling low. And it's difficult because toxic positivity is definitely something I see a lot, and it's difficult for me because I would think, how should I be posting on YouTube right now and be talking about law of attraction manifestation if right now I'm not feeling good mentally and I'm in a dark place, right? And then I'm like, do I just talk about what I know and put it all out there? Because even though I might not be feeling good, I still know these things about spirituality and I still know that they're true and I can still talk about them. But like, am I like, is it wrong for me to talk about, oh, be positive, this, that, the third, if I'm not feeling that way? But I kind of have come to realize there's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling negative. Like that is very much part of the human experience. When you are feeling like upset or like in a state of rage or anything like negative, I'm just like, that is part of being human, and the good cannot exist without the bad. And it's like you want to try and be like as optimistic as you can, I would say, or at least I try to, but I also know that that's like very much not possible. And toxic positivity like doesn't get you anywhere, or like fake it till you make it positivity. I mean, it works sometimes, but at the end of the day, I have just learned over time to not get down on myself when I'm not feeling positive, and to not try and fake it and put on a facade, because if I don't work through like the negative emotions that I'm feeling, they're just going to be lingering there. So it's kind of like, okay, if I'm feeling negative right now, if I don't feel like I'm in a state of being able to attract the desires that I want, I'm not going to be focusing on those desires, because then I'm going to start feeling if I'm feeling low, I probably will also be doubting myself in the things that I want. So I'll probably be like, oh, I'm not going to be able to achieve this. I'm not going to be able to get this. Like, this isn't going to work out. I'm going to have doubts. I'm going to have fears. I'm just like, hey, I'm not feeling good right now, and that's absolutely okay. And I'm just not going to be focusing on these things right now. Right now, I'm going to focus on doing whatever I can to make myself feel comfortable so that I can hopefully return to that state of lightness as soon as possible.
It's like a common trap to fall in.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen when I was, because obviously I invited you to come on my show.
Yeah.
Right. I was looking around, doing research about the law of attraction and manifestation and things like that. And a ton of people out there, whether it was a podcast or a YouTube channel or a blog or a TikTok or whatever, Pinterest even, they fall into this category of like toxic positivity. And it's basically, to me, it's like, I'm going to cover up all of my negative emotions with positive ones. I'm going to lie to myself. I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to lie to whoever it takes until I'm feeling positive. And the plain and simple fact is it doesn't work. So what is your recommendation in your experience from coming to kind of like a balanced place from the cynic's mindset of Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and I have to be positive all the time? Like, what's the middle ground? What's the remedy? What's appropriate?
For me, it's kind of just coming to the realization that like life is a journey. I'm going to have negative experiences. I'm going to have positive experiences. And like, I wouldn't want to necessarily feel happy all of the time, because I feel like you're missing out on like a big part of like life and like learning. And sometimes those bad feelings or those negative experiences is what helps you grow as a human. I never think I would have even gotten really into spirituality if it wasn't for me being at a low point and needing something to like get me out of it. You know what I mean? And that is how I became so interested in it. I found spirituality. I realized that, oh, I can take control of my reality. I can make things better for myself. If I was already in a fine place and I was just happy all the time and it didn't really matter, I probably wouldn't have discovered it. And I'm very, very, very grateful I did. I don't know how different I would be today if I hadn't. So I think it just comes down to like being like nicer to yourself and being easier on yourself, because when you're in a state of faking positivity all the time, it's because, at least in my experience, when I've had times where I've been trying to do that, and then I'm like, if I'm just going to be faking this and putting on this like happy face, like I'm just going to be like holding all these negative emotions inside of me. And like, it doesn't matter like what I'm saying or what I'm pretending to be. Like, if that is not genuinely how I'm feeling, like I am not going to be attracting positive things either way. I'm going to be attracting negative things because that is how I genuinely feel. If I don't allow myself to feel these emotions and move past them, I'm not going to be able to grow. And also remembering, because it is hard with all these like people on the internet with all the toxic positivity. It's like, it makes you feel really, really bad about yourself when you're feeling negative, and it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong and that you're bringing bad things into your life. But like, it's all at the end of the day not that serious. Like, life, at least to me, is like, we're all going to be here and one day we're going to be gone. And we don't necessarily know where we're going to go for sure, but we're just here for the moment. We're playing like this game called life, and you want to like just go along for the ride and do the best and make the best of it, and like understand that every emotion that you have is 100% okay. And like, the best thing that you can do is just let yourself feel it, because when you're blocking that off and you're not being honest with yourself, you're also kind of losing yourself in a way, and you're not in touch with yourself and your emotions. And like, that's way more painful than like just feeling negative in my experience.
So really what you're saying is it all comes down to like being honest with yourself. Like,
yeah.
Being honest with yourself of saying like, okay, for example, I, Ian, host of the Regression Session podcast, have felt for the last couple of years that I've been on the ground getting shit kicked in my face over and over and over, and I've just barely been able to get back on to where I'm like just barely ready to stand back up. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean I have to be like shitty about it. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I don't have to be like, oh, well, this sucks. And I've definitely caught myself doing that, right? But I can be happy. Like, we just had a baby.
Yeah.
Right? My son is like growing up and learning how to talk and saying all these cool things. And like, my life all in all isn't that bad. Even though I feel overall I've been getting shit kicked in my face for years. You know what I mean? So like being honest with yourself and acknowledging like, yeah, I have been getting shit kicked in my face, but you know what? There are some things that I can be grateful for. Yeah. And to me, like, spirituality, in my experience, it's a lot of people look at it like, okay, we're going to raise our vibration and we're going to go be with source or spirit, or we're going to be able to like see through the veil or whatever. Right. And all that's cool. But like, if you strip all that stuff away, to me, what it really comes down to is spirituality is about healing. Right.
Yeah.
And if you're going to heal, if you, Naomi, want to heal all of your followers, the best thing that you could do, in my experience, is heal yourself. Because when you heal yourself, you're healing me and you're healing whoever else out there, because we're all part of the same thing. What do you think about that?
I completely agree with that. Like, one of the most like life-changing realizations I came to when I first started getting into spirituality is like how important it is to prioritize yourself and your needs and to put yourself first, because you might think that you're being a good person by putting your needs on the back burner and helping someone else. But in reality, the best way, like you said, you can help other people is by helping yourself, so that you have that light and that love to share. Because if you're feeling cold and empty, but you're trying to help other people, you're not going to be able to give anything to them because you're not giving anything to yourself. And humans, just like anything else, as we're all made of energy, energies that are around each other start to like match each other in a way, and like energies affect one another, right? So like, let's say you're in a good mood and you go to hang out with your friend and your friend is in a really bad mood, very, very upset, just not doing well, getting a little angry, maybe taking it out on you a little bit, that is definitely going to impact and change your mood. And it might make you feel a little bit more low or upset. And that is because energies affect each other, right? And if I'm not taking care of myself and I'm at a low state, I'm not going to be able to add any like light into anybody else's life. And that's okay. Sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's just about focusing on yourself, but you do need to focus on yourself and take care of yourself because, like you said, it is the best way to help other people. So overall, I agree.
Yeah, it's like how are you gonna fill up someone else's cup if your cup is empty? Right?
Exactly.
Like if your cup's empty, you ain't got shit to share.
It's true. No, completely.
So that's basically like a really long explanation of the first step, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like healing yourself and being grateful. And, there's tons of different techniques to do this. There's like just meditation, there like therapy for my audience. Like if you feel like you need help with this, definitely go see a therapist, go find a hypnotherapist, call me, call anybody else who's been on my show. There's tons of us out there. Go and find somebody to help you with this. And then you can start focusing on the amazing steps that Naomi is about to talk about, the techniques to manifest. So what are some of those techniques that you can start with? Maybe start with like the most simple one, and then we can work to more complex things.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So as I said before, manifestation is based off of your thoughts, your beliefs, conscious, subconscious, all that. Just the things that you believe about yourself and the world are the things that are manifesting, right? So the techniques I'm going to be talking about are all just different ways to rewire your mindset and affirm new things so that you are attracting new things. Regardless of whether you're doing these techniques or not, you are going to be manifesting every single day because everything in your life, good or bad, is a result of manifestation, right? So whether or not you're working to rewire your subconscious, you're going to be manifesting things. So all of these techniques are helping you rewire your brain. So basically the first one that is very commonly talked about that can be worked through in a variety of different ways is affirmation. So affirmation is basically a statement, a sentence in the present tense saying that you have something, that you are something, basically stating that you have the thing that you want. And it's really important to do affirmations in the present tense and not say, for example, let's say you want a dog, right? Let's say you want to get a dog. You wouldn't say, I will get a dog as your affirmation. You would say, I have a dog, right? And another thing that's really, really important when it comes to manifestation is evoking that feeling and emotion. Because if you're just saying something straight up, but you don't feel it and you don't believe it, nothing's going to happen, right? Only reason why people use affirmations and like all of the other techniques I'm going to talk about is just to make themselves believe that they are worthy of having the things that they want, because we are, and we're all worthy of attracting absolutely anything, like no matter how big or small, right? It's just a matter of believing that you can have it. So
sorry to interrupt you.
No, go
so
for
is it like, I feel like it's pretty common for people to try this and then they just kind of say it, like they'll like say it to themselves in the mirror or whatever, but they won't like pull the emotion that they would feel behind. Like for me, if I was gonna have an affirmation right now, I'd be like I have $1 million.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great affirmation.
Yes. Right. That was me like channeling those feelings. Like yes, $1 million. Sorry, I've never got like that hardcore in my show, so sorry to like make your ears bleed.
No,
but that's totally like my good affirmation right now. Did I do it right? Is that right?
You did it amazingly. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. No, it was perfection. It was really. I mean, it's true though. Like bringing emotion into it is a really, really powerful way to speed up your manifestation to coming into your reality. So yeah, that a lot of people do try affirmations, but they don't really feel it or they don't really believe it, and they sort of just say, "Oh, this isn't working," and they give up. But once you affirm that it isn't working, then you are manifesting it not working because that's what you believe, right? So if you, let's say, every day for 6 months, you're doing all of these manifestation techniques, working so hard, trying to manifest this one thing, but you don't really believe it, you're not going to manifest it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not like you write something down on a paper and it magically like appears. Like, it's about you. And those techniques are just strengthening your mind. Also, you don't want to be working too hard on it and focusing on it too much, because then you're telling the universe that you don't have it. Because if you're worrying about if you're going to get it so much, then you're basically putting out that energy of lack. Because if you did already have it, you wouldn't be stressing about it and you wouldn't be thinking about it all the time. It sounds all very complicated, like you have to have this exact type of emotion and phrase the sentence in this exact way. But the truth is, it's very, very, very simple. We all know how to manifest because we all do it. All you got to do is just like tap in, change your mindset a little bit. That's pretty much all it is at the end of the day. But yeah, the first method is affirmation.
And the opposite is true too, right? Like when we first started talking, you like kind of got on my case a little bit because I was like, oh, I'm poor. And you're like, you just broke the first rule.
Yeah.
And that for me, like you just literally made yourself poor, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So by saying I am poor, it's like you literally just did it. Like you just did it to yourself.
Like but it's just like you decided that, and you can decide something else. You know what I mean? That doesn't have to be reality. Okay.
As of right now, I used to be poor. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I used to be poor.
There you go.
I'm not poor anymore.
No, not at all. Very rich.
Go.
I see your wallet in the background, and it's very much overflowing.
I think I see it too, Naomi.
I see a lot of cash.
Dude, that's a lot of money right there.
That is a lot of money. How did we should make another episode where you just talk about how you make so much money, because it's honestly insane. Like
this podcast, it's definitely a moneymaker for me.
Definitely. Wow, that's really cool. I'm really glad that you did that for yourself.
Me too. So, like, in all seriousness, though, I have an example of this actually working in my life, and I talked about it as of right now. I think it was upon this episode's release. It will be last week's episode, okay. I think, where I talked about this. And I think I've talked about it in one other episode. But when I was in high school, like I was pretty down on myself, right? I don't want to like go into a sob story or whatever. But there was like an entire year I didn't even look at myself in the mirror. And I was like always telling myself like, oh, I hate you. And you're the worst, like literally like thinking those things. Mm-hmm. And then one day, for whatever reason, and this is kind of a funny story, I like decided like, you know what, I'm going to look at myself in the mirror. And I did. And then I was just staring at myself and I was like, I hate you. And, you know, but then I decided I was going to smile at myself, and I did. And my lips split open. But it's like, that's what you get, bitch.
Your lips split open when you smiled?
Yeah, like the bottom lip, it was like, so it's like, oh, I haven't used that muscle in a long time.
Oh my God.
Like, from then on, I was like, maybe I should like smile more. So once a day, I would like look at myself and I'd give myself like this like dorky ass like smile or whatever. And like my Facebook profile has a lot of those like weird smiles. And my audience can't see me right now, but it's weird. Maybe I'll post a picture.
Maybe, yeah.
But like I would smile at myself like once a day, and then it's slowly over time of me just like smiling at myself in the mirror got to the point where I would like anytime I was walking past like even a window that was just like reflective, I would like smile at myself, and like walk by people's cars and like smile at myself. And so I can like personally say it works. It's a little bit different than what we're talking about, like,
but it's also not different at all. Like it's all like falling under the same umbrella. And like I think that's a really, really great way to like manifest. I definitely like use the mirror. I kind of do a similar thing. Like I don't do the smile thing. I normally do smile when I look at myself in the mirror, but I usually say like the affirmation, like I love me, or I love myself, like when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, just to like show myself that love. And like that is like a form of manifestation, you know, looking at yourself and looking back, and like even just like smiling, like it really does like make a difference. And like also I think that like scientifically like smiling like makes your mood improve or something like that. I don't know.
I want to say I've heard that before. I want to say it like releases endorphins into your brain, but I'm not a scientist.
No, I'm not either. I just remember hearing it somewhere, but it could be true. I think it is. I don't know.
Well, I know that like when people smile at me, it makes me want to like, even if I'm like, God, don't smile at me right now. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
geez, like mind your own business. But like it makes me like feel obligated to like smile back at them. I mean, not so much
Totally.
nowadays because I wear masks in public
Right. Yeah.
still because my newborn.
Mhm.
But like I'll like give him a nod and like yeah, hey, I'm acknowledging you. But it makes me like feel like I need to smile back, and that
Mm.
like even subconsciously it like primes you for like I guess smiling later. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird
Yeah.
to
No,
talk about.
it's hard to explain, but I know exactly what you mean, and I feel like other people definitely like understand that feeling too. Like just something about like even if you're in a negative mindset, like something that is like the opposite of that, doing something that normally like would make you feel better that you would do when you would feel better is just pushing you a little bit more towards that in a way. So I totally like it's hard to figure out exactly why it makes you feel better, but like it definitely like does. I guess it's just like a high positive vibrational experience happening to you when you're in a negative state, just like switches that a little bit, and the more you do it, the more that that kind of happiness will stick.
Right. Okay. So really like this technique you're talking about is just like basically neuro-linguistic programming.
I do not know what that is.
Exactly what you're talking about. It's like changing the way that your brain registers certain concepts by rewiring the
Mm-hmm.
way you think about it. Like
Then yes.
let's see. Like for example, I have this technique that I use for people. I call it like core realignment.
Mm-hmm.
So as like a hypnotherapist, I'm not like legally allowed to call myself that here in Utah. But
Mm-hmm.
as someone who practices hypnosis and does this, it's like if I let's just say I'll just use my own example. I had anxiety about my kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like crippling hardcore anxiety about my kids. And I sat down and I felt like you have to like feel the anxiety. So the first step is like I have to feel all this anxiety and where it's located in my body and just like let it flow through. And it's like, okay, so now that you've felt that anxiety, what's the purpose of feeling that? Like, what are you trying to accomplish by feeling this anxiety, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well, I'm trying to like, for example, I don't remember all the steps, but it's like I'm trying to feel safe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so now we're going to step into what that feeling of safety feels like,
Right.
right? So now, okay, let that feeling of feeling safe, even if you have to pretend, like feel that in your body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that you felt that safety, what's that going to do for you? Like, what's the next best step from that,
Yeah. Right.
right?
Right.
Okay, now that I'm safe, I can just like live my life. Okay, now step into that feeling of like living your life, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing is it's like this. I was feeling anxiety, but then I felt what it was like to feel safe, which is the goal. Like I was feeling anxiety because I inherently didn't feel safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've already felt what it feels like to feel safe now. It's like
Right.
if you've eaten an orange,
Mm-hmm.
you can never like uneat an orange. Like you can never not know what that orange tastes like, right?
True.
So
Yeah.
that's basically what neurolinguistic programming is. Right? It's like, okay, now
Mm-hmm.
I've got a taste of what it feels like to feel safe. And to this, it's like now I know what it's like to catch myself saying my life sucks and I'm going to be poor forever.
Right. 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 Totally. Yeah.
So there's
That's
like a
all.
scientific term for it.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I actually didn't realize that's what it was called, but yeah, no, it's super true. Like it definitely like having that experience or allowing yourself to feel like those emotions can almost then gives you the possibility to like lean into them more. Like I don't remember who told me this, but I remember I think maybe it was a video I watched, but at some point when I was like first learning about manifestation, I heard that like a really good way to speed up your manifestations and bring things like towards you quicker was to just at random moments throughout your day just invoke a feeling of like immense excitement and happiness out of nowhere, like for no reason. Just like bring the feeling of happiness into your body, smile, like move around, jump around, whatever you have to do, get that excitement and happiness there. And then afterwards, feel like a ton of gratitude and just feel, wow, I'm so, so, so grateful. So it's the feeling of happiness and excitement followed by gratitude. You feel that, you let it go, and you just continue to go about your day. There's no specific reason for why you're deciding to feel this happiness and gratitude, but the fact that you are feeling it is attracting things to feel happy and grateful about into your life, because you attract what you already are and what you already have. So allowing yourself to feel happiness and gratitude more often reminds your brain, hey, I can also attract happiness and gratitude in my life. That's something I'm able to like feel, and it kind of just works, you know?
Well, what you're doing by doing that, Naomi, is you're putting yourself in control, right?
Yeah.
Like you're giving yourself control, because I'm gonna use this thing that this gentleman named Andy Sway. I've had him on my show. I've referenced him multiple times since. He told me this. He's like, if you're feeling anxiety about your kids, for example, what you need to do to start the process of like getting over it is you need to like at some point randomly try to feel anxiety, right? If you like tried to feel anxiety and you can't, it's like, okay, I can't. But then if you actually do it, then it's like, oh, well, I'm in control.
Yeah.
Another example of this is at my work, I was talking to this lady who's Mormon, and Mormons don't like to swear. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she said a swear word, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm like, and all the Mormons like assume that everyone else is Mormon around them.
Okay.
So they're like, oh my gosh, oh my heck, I'm so sorry that I said a swear word. And I was like, it's fine. And she's like, I promise I don't swear. Like my husband, he asks me not to, but I just can't stop swearing. And I was like, well, you know what you have to do, right? And she's like, what? And I was like, in order to stop like not being able to stop swearing, you have to swear on purpose. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, once you start swearing on purpose, it puts you in control, because then you're doing it on purpose and you get to choose when you're doing it. Right.
Wow. Yeah.
So, same thing with this. And the next day I walked into her office, and I walked in, I was like, hey, Diane, how the hell are you? And she just looks at me and she's like, I'm doing pretty damn good.
That's so funny. Oh my God. That honestly, like, it's a really, really interesting thing. Like, I don't think I've ever fully like internalized that before. Like the best way to like gain control and power is to like do something by choice. That's really, really interesting. I'm definitely going to start living by that a little bit more.
Yeah, do it, man. It's like if I choose every day to tell myself that I suck, even if like I don't want to do that, if I'm choosing when to do it, it puts me in control, because then I'm not like constantly like, oh, I suck, man. It's like I'm gonna tell myself at 5:00 every day
Yeah.
that I suck. It's like at 5:00, okay, you suck, Ian. But then it's like I'm only doing it once a day, and it's like I'm in control now. I can control when I tell myself when I suck. Or the same thing with like I don't know. Let's just say I used to have like a weed smoking problem, right? I would smoke weed, and it's like I can't stop smoking weed. But then it's like, okay, I'm just gonna smoke it. I'm just gonna do it, and that puts you in control. And that might be a bad example, but if you're like choosing to do it, it puts you in control. Whereas if you're before, you're like not feeling in control. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so true. Like, no, when it comes to like that too, it's like, oh, if you're like, I have to smoke weed, like I absolutely I have to, I'm dependent on it, and then you go to smoke and you're like, what you're feeling is just like guilt and like powerless, and you're like, oh, like I can't not, like this is like something that is like out of my control, like I need to do it. But then when you could be like, okay, all you have to do is shift your mindset and be like, I'm still gonna smoke this, but it's because I want to and I'm deciding to, and that's my decision because I'm in control. And then maybe later it's, well, I can smoke, and right now maybe I don't want to, but it's like you give yourself that power and you make it your decision rather than, oh, this other force in my head is making me do this, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I'm doing it. Like one thing that Andy Sway said to me, and we'll go back, I feel like most people out there, especially nowadays, feel anxiety. So I'll go back to this anxiety example. It's like Naomi, let's just say you feel crippling anxiety. Let's pretend for a minute that you do, whether or not you actually do. And Andy actually asked me this question. He was like, where? And it blew my mind. I was like, oh my God. So he was like, where would your anxiety be? Like your anxiety, where would it be if you were never born or if you were never existed?
I guess it wouldn't exist, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the right answer. Like it would never exist. Like it wouldn't be there. So in reality, like you're doing it, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you want to do it, but you're
Hmm.
still like doing anxiety. And that's what he
Yeah,
said to me.
you're
And he's like,
right.
so if you're gonna do anxiety, just do it. Like
Hmm.
just let it happen, but like choose to do it. If you're gonna do, and he used this example. He's like, I'm imagining you like running outside in the middle of the night in tidy whities, like running down the street screaming, "Oh my god, my kids are gonna die, and we're all gonna die.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
god!" And just like you're just doing it, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
medicate. Like, okay, I'm doing anxiety. Ah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, no, no,
So,
no. It's so true. Like it's like, yeah, maybe I'm doing this thing that I don't want to do, but I'm choosing to do it. And then it's like,
and you were doing it already, right? Like
yeah,
what you're saying, like you're already doing manifestation, right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
But now once you do it, like now you're doing it on
Right.
purpose. Like you're in control now. And that's where I've been kind of like we've kind of been dancing around it, but like
Hmm.
you're already doing it,
Yeah.
but now you've got to like do it.
It's like you're doing it, and now that you know that you're doing it, you just put intention behind it, and that's it.
Yeah. There it is. You're
You're like,
taking
okay,
control.
exactly. Like before, it's like these things are all happening to me because I'm not like aware that I'm the one who's doing it. It just feels like things happen to you, but then once you realize that you're the one controlling it, then you can be like, okay, now I'm going to control what happens to me in a way by adjusting my mindset. And you're doing it because a lot of people think they're like, oh, I can't manifest. I tried to manifest. It doesn't work. And I'm like, but you are manifesting. You are just deciding that the things that you're trying to manifest aren't going to come. And that's like, it's like everybody is their own biggest obstacle in my opinion. And if you can get to that point of just allowing yourself to get the things that you deserve and to be the one in control, because you always have that power, but it's just about like allowing, really allowing like the stream of consciousness to flow through you and allowing the universe to bring you the things that you desire, because you do deserve them and you do have the power to create them once you allow.
Yes, I'm all on board. One thing real quick that I just want to kind of like throw out there, and it's just on my mind, and I just kind of feel like I need to say this. I feel like someone out there is gonna need to hear this. But it like there it back circling back to toxic positivity, if I could talk. It's like one of the main, I guess, tenets of this toxic positivity is like um basically taking responsibility for everything that happens to you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's like the most horrible things, right? I want to put out there to whoever needs to hear this is like what we're saying is that you don't need to take responsibility for like everything that happens to you. What you need to do is accept what happens to you, internalize it, make it a part of you, and then figure out how you can move forward with it. So like it doesn't necessarily mean that whatever happened that's bad was your fault.
Yeah.
And even how you react to it isn't necessarily your fault, but
True.
like how you internalize it is up to you. And
Yeah.
that's the most important part of what I'm talking about is like internalizing it in a healthy way. And I don't know why I like that just popped into my head to say that. I feel like somebody out there is gonna need to hear that. So sorry
Yeah.
to like derail that train.
No, no, I absolutely agree with you, and I think that's so important to bring up because I've had conversations too with like friends and talking about manifestation and like telling them that we are all manifesting all the time and that we have manifested all things good and bad into our lives, and then that is often met with like oh, but did I manifest this negative thing? Did I manifest this? Is the reason that this happened like my fault? Like, did I do that? And it's like, no, it's not like that. And like, you, nothing is like your fault, you know what I mean? But it's just like these things happened, like something in life, like whether it was due to like your beliefs or your doings or somebody else's, like, it's like you said, this negative thing happened and that is okay. And then it's like you said, you can decide how to move on with that. You can decide where to go from there and how, if you're going to internalize that. And like, yeah. And it's not a bad thing to have negative things happen to you. It's part of living.
Yeah. And one other key thing that I think like nobody ever talks about is like other people's free will too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like that's a huge part of this whole process. Like, for example, if I dedicated my free will to like, okay, if you were trying to manifest your audience growing, and then I dedicated my free will to like screwing that up for you and trying to like stop your audience from growing, that would also like play into everything. So other people's free will can also affect this, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. And it's complicated, that whole thing, where it's like it's like you can manifest anything. You can literally manifest anything, but then that also means that you can manifest negative things, not only onto yourself, but onto other people. But then it comes to remembering, if I'm let's say you were manifesting like my downfall, right? Or something like that. That is a negative energy that you're putting out into the universe, with the intent of like producing like sadness or like any negative emotion, right? So it's negative energy, which will therefore be met with negative energy that comes right back to you, because we attract what we give out, right? It's just manifestation working again. So if your intentions are harmful and you're putting out that negative energy towards me, that negative energy is going to probably come back towards you. And also, another really interesting thing about this is that like the whole concept of like karma, and like knowing that like if you do good things, good will come back to you. If you do bad things, bad will come back to you, is kind of just very, very similar to like what manifestation is saying. So like, I don't know, I just find that interesting. Like, it's like there are different ways to like say it, but at the end of the day, the energy that you give out does circle back to you.
Yeah, I thought that of karma too. I look at like that's a whole other rabbit hole to go down. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even necessarily believe in like karma. There's like two different types of karma basically. It's like the Western ideation of what goes around comes around kind of a karma, and then there's like the original interpretation
Yeah.
of karma. What you're talking about is the Western ideology of like you're gonna reap what you sow,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go and I saw you on the street and I punched you in the throat, then something bad's gonna come back to me eventually,
Yeah.
right? Sorry to like I'm like throwing you under the bus.
No, 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 no,
I
no.
would never punch you in the throat, Naomi.
I would never expect that you would. Don't worry.
Well,
For theoretical purposes only.
yeah, theoretically, if I punched you in the throat, I would
Yes.
probably get punched in the throat eventually myself.
Maybe, or maybe something of that same like level would come back to you, right? Just because, and it's interesting because there are positive and negative things happening around all of us all of the time, and it's partly, I think, you attract what you give out, but I also think that the way that you feel and the beliefs that you have are going to affect what you're focusing on. So if I'm in a really bad mood and I'm tired and I didn't get enough sleep and I have to go somewhere early in the morning and I walk outside, and let's say like it's like raining, for example, right? But let's also say that it's warm out and I'm about to go meet up with some friends and we're going to go get a nice breakfast and I have like a fun day planned, but I'm in a horrible mood. I'm sleep deprived. I walk outside and all of these great things are happening. Let's say I stop at the coffee shop. I get a really like yummy coffee, right? Like I'm doing happy things, but I'm in a bad mood. All of these good things are going on. I'm probably going to be like, it's raining. Like, this is so annoying. This rain is ruining my hair. Like, that is what I'm going to be focused on if I'm in a negative space. If I'm in a positive space, I'm going to be like, oh, a little rain never hurt nobody. Like, that's okay. It's actually kind of pretty, you know? Like, it's all about, it's like partly you are attracting what you are, but it's also like you're focusing on the things that align with your current vibration.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It's like if you start looking for all the red cars when you're driving around, you're going to see a bunch of red cars.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you're going to find what you're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let me ask you this weird question that you may or may not have ever thought of before.
Mm-hmm.
So like with this whole you attract what you put out thing, let me put to you the question of like after we die,
Hmm.
the concept of heaven and hell and divine judgment.
Uh-huh.
With you believing in the law of attraction, does that or would that theoretically come into play with the after death scenario?
I don't believe in heaven and hell, and I do not feel that it's it's almost like we all are one and the same. In my opinion, we are all different manifestations of source energy, right? Like every single person that exists is like kind of just a different version of each other. Like our personalities, our appearances, like these are all things that we have just to exist as a human in this human experience. But like we all came from the same place. We are all source energy. And I believe that maybe you might do like negative low vibrational things or be in a low vibrational state while you are having this human experience. But like that doesn't change who you are at your core. Like at our all of our core, we are like spirit energy. And after we die, I don't believe that anything that we've done in our life is necessarily gonna like we're not going to be punished by that, or we're not going to be like praised. Like I don't think there's going to be a heaven or a hell. I think it's like we are all on our journey as a spirit to evolving to our highest potential, to nirvana, to becoming the highest possible version of our soul. And we do this through our different lives and different experiences. So each human life is an attempt to continue to raise yourself and your consciousness and heal your soul so that you can be your highest potential. And I believe that if you're in a low vibrational space throughout this human life, then you will reincarnate into a different one where you will still subconsciously carry the experiences and knowledge and growth that you got from your last life and continue to grow in the next life. And that is what I believe.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. My thought is like if you die and you're expecting to go to hell, you're probably gonna find yourself in hell.
Yes, but also heaven and hell are man-made concepts. We have no way of knowing
I
that
agree
heaven's
with
even
you.
real. Yeah.
But there's this concept called an egregore where it's like so many people throughout history have thrown so much energy to the concepts of like heaven and hell and
Mm-hmm.
Jesus or like Krishna or Allah or whatever, or like Odin and Zeus and all those people. So like because of all the energy that was thrown at them, they manifested or like people have manifested them or created them. So the same thing is like with heaven and hell, like they're real, but they're not like created for us. They're created by us, if that makes sense. So like when you
That
go
totally
there,
makes sense.
you're going to either find yourself in hell or heaven. And there's actually like documented cases of called near death experiences where people will like medically die and they'll find themselves in these places. And the reason I asked you that those questions, I know it's like not really necessarily like your niche, but I just wanted to get your opinion
I mean, yeah,
on
I'm
that.
no, but I have a lot of interest in talking about afterlife and heaven and hell and all of that stuff. Like it might not be specifically what I normally talk about, but I'm glad you asked because it's like super interesting to me and I love like trying to like learn more about it. I've had periods where I like was very concerned with that and like worrying about like not really knowing what came next and like trying to like come to like realizations through like meditation and just like diving deeper into my spirituality. And like as interesting as it is to learn more about myself and the world and to continue to gain knowledge, as important as that is to me, I also have been working to try and remember that I am living this life experience as a human and I am a spiritual being at my core manifested into a human. So it's like we are all spiritual because we are spiritual beings. So it's not that I need to remember that I am not a human trying to tap into spirituality. I am a spiritual figure appearing as a human, right? And I'm here to live out my human life. And it's not always about, oh, learning about this. Why does this happen? Answering all the questions. Some questions, you might think you have the answer, you might not. But at the end of the day, is there really a way to know for 100% sure? Probably not, right? And it's like maybe we're also not supposed to know. And maybe it's not always about solving the questions. Maybe it's about living this living in the present moment and enjoying the life that you live to the best of your ability and creating the life for yourself that you want and just enjoying it. Because at the end of the day, when we're gone, it's not really going to matter, like the little things, right? And like we're going to find our answers eventually and everything is going to work out. But right now we're here living as a human. It's like, I just want to enjoy that, you know?
To quote Andy Sway one more time, he's like, you're already your spirit, right? You're already it. But if you would like to pretend for the rest of your life that you're not, that's okay.
Yeah.
Dude, Andy Sway is like a guru. I swear to God. Check out Andy Sway. And speaking of checking people's channels out, Naomi, tell us what you got going on. You got like the TikTok. I think you have the Instagram. You definitely got your YouTube channel. Yes. What else have you got going on? Plug yourself so that all these people can go check out your wonderful channel.
Thank you. I will. So yeah, I do have the YouTube channel. It's right under my name, Naomi Rosenthal. I mostly talk about spirituality, law of attraction, manifestation, and all that. But here and there also, I do just post like random videos, makeup videos, things in my life, all that. So definitely go subscribe and check it out. And then I do have an Instagram. My username is N40M and then 5 eyes. And it says Naomi, but the name Naomi was taken. So I kind of just messed around with it a little bit and figured out what worked. And then I have a TikTok handle, which is Juicy Pop Tarts, but the S at the end of tarts is a Z. I don't know why that's my username. I made it quite a few years ago and I kind of just stuck with it because I'm like, why would I change it now? There is no meaning behind it. But yeah, definitely check that out. And then I am going to start streaming on Twitch soon. So that is very exciting. And I have not actually started that yet. But I also have a Patreon that I have just started posting on. Patreon is like super cool. Basically like you can pledge like a certain amount of money and get a certain amount of benefits and be able to see like certain things that I post on there. So whether that be like just like the videos and like posts that I make or like being able to vote on my next YouTube video or getting like monthly one-on-one Q&A sessions with me, like there are a lot of different assets. So if you take a look at my link tree, which is listed in my like Instagram or TikTok, you can see all of my different social media platforms and you can see the Twitch, the Patreon, all that. So that is linked in my Instagram and TikTok. But yeah, thank you for asking. That is the vibe right now.
Perfect. Well, definitely head on over to any of those things that you frequent. Check out Naomi, follow her, give her some love. And Naomi.
Yes.
I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you.
Oh.
Do you have a message that you would like to leave for my audience?
Oh, you know I do. You know I do. All right. What I have to say is everything is going to be absolutely okay, whether you believe it right now or not. And also remember that the bad voices and bad thoughts in your head are only existing in your head. So maybe you feel these bad thoughts and all that, but that doesn't mean that your life is bad. It just means that these thoughts are just popping up in your head and you should just brush them off because that's all they are, thoughts in your head. And it's never too late to change. You're never stuck with any certain personality, with any certain look. You are authentically you, no matter what, and you have the power to be whoever you want to be. Never, last thing I'm saying, never ever make any decisions in your life based off of pleasing other people or doing what you think you should do. Because at the end of the day, nobody is as worried about you as they are as their self, and you should just live the way that you want to live. And that is what I want to leave you with.
That's a wonderful message. And Naomi, thank you so much for coming on to my podcast. I had so much fun talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a really, really great time as well.
That's it for today's episode. I would like to thank Naomi for coming on to the show, and I would also like to thank you for tuning in. Definitely head on over to Naomi's YouTube channel or her Instagram or wherever else you would like to find her. She's awesome and she has a lot of great content for you. Also, feel free to head on over to my Facebook group or my Facebook page or my Reddit or whatever. All links to those in the description as well. I would really appreciate it if you would go ahead and give me a great review and a high rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're listening right now. It'll help me get out there a lot more. If you would like to come onto the show to talk to me about your past life experience or your spiritual knowledge, shoot me an email. My email is theregressionsession@gmail.com, and I would love to have you on the show. Yes! 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 $1 million!